Welcome back to Milwaukee, where it was a big day for former President Donald Trump yesterday. His official nomination as the candidate in this 2024 Republican side of the race, and his announcement that Senator J.D. Vance will be his running mate on the ticket. All that just 2 days after the attempt on Donald Trump's life. That is a busy few days. Joining us now is Jason Miller, senior advisor to the former president, to talk all about it. Jason, thank you very much for being here. We got to begin with how the president is doing.
Jason Miller for president.
You've got some fans here, apparently, in Milwaukee.
We have a good option right now. Don't get me fired. What are they trying to do?
Yeah.
It's like
You're not on the ticket, but you are advising it, and you've spent time with the former president. How's he doing?
He's doing very well. And as you saw that moment when he entered the arena last night, I mean, that was a combination of a revival meeting plus a UFC entrance. It was really something only President Trump could do. But to be literally less than 48 hours after an assassination attempt and to come in and just feel that energy from the crowd, it shows you the love for President Trump. And I think really where this movement is going into the fall and even beyond.
I want to look ahead, but just for a moment, look back. Does the president think that the head of the Secret Service should step down in light of what happened Saturday?
So there are going to be independent investigations on that. You have Congress with an investigation. You have the administration, of course, the Secret Service and the DOJ, and everybody will be looking at that. Wouldn't be appropriate for me right now to go and comment on that as someone from the campaign team. I do know that President Trump very much respects and values the Secret Service team that is around him and credits his being alive to them. But I don't want to go into the politics of it right now.
A wait and see on the director. Let's talk about J.D. Vance, the pick for vice president. When you went with J.D. Vance, when the campaign did, you knew that Democrats could reach into a grab bag of anti-Trump quotes and throw them around like confetti. Well, that confetti is all around us now, and yet you still thought it was worth it. Why was it worth it to pick this former critic?
Well, J.D. Vance is someone who, as he said last night in his interview with Sean Hannity, had listened to too many of the media's lies early on and not had a chance to meet President Trump or get to know him. But as he saw that first-term success with President Trump, as we brought about this great economy, as we secured the border, brought about world peace in so many different areas, he realized this was someone who actually matched his value set and agreed with him very much so. And in fact, here's an important thing to keep in mind. President Trump endorsed J.D. Vance in his Senate run in 2022. And so there are two who've been allies for quite a long time. They become good friends on the campaign trail.
Look, we were reminded on Saturday that life is fragile. The president is a man of a certain age. And so J.D. Vance is looked at as somebody who's not only a potential future leader of the Republican Party, but as vice president would have to be prepared to step in. And I'm old enough to remember when Barack Obama ran for president, young man, only 2 years of experience in the Senate, Republicans said, this guy's not ready. You think J.D. Vance is ready?
Absolutely. J.D. Vance is ready to step in right away. And as President Trump was making his decision, yes, he has the time on Capitol Hill, but look at J.D. Vance's life experience. Look at his experience of serving in the Marines. Look at his experience of coming from Appalachia, of someone who knows what it's like to come up from that working class, from the Rust Belt. That experience and his experience in the business world, much more important than a couple extra years on Capitol Hill.
Let's also talk about unity and positivity. I know there's supposed to be themes going forward here, but I'm also old enough to remember that we've talked a lot over the years of Donald Trump taking a turn, a softer, a gentler Donald Trump. Now, obviously, this is a different level of experience, what happened on Saturday, but are you confident that the turn to unity is really going to stick this time?
Well, yeah, and I'd point you to President Trump's True Social post from Sunday morning when he talked about our need to be resilient in our faith, but also be defiant in the face of wickedness. This is the time where we have to unite America. We have to come together. And Tony, I'll tell you, I was a little bit dismayed on watching some of the various Sunday show media coverage, and even yesterday, of how many in the media and how many on the political left where they would start off by saying we need to bring the country together, but then they'd immediately pivot to some aspect of whataboutism or into, well, does rhetoric on either side have to contribute to this? Here's the reality, is America is a very divided country right now with regard to politics. At the same time, you have people on the left and on the right who are suffering both economically and with regard to the border and everything else that's happening in this country. We have to bring people together. I think you'll see that from President Trump's speech on Thursday.
Yeah, but that division and what you heard from the pundits on Sunday and even Monday, I mean, you're going to get that from both sides because divisions between the parties, distance between the parties exists, and people really feel the stakes of this. So it seems like America has a tendency to snap back to where it was, even after a moment or a period of change. Is this time really going to be different?
This is going to be different. And I can tell you, having spent time with President Trump in the less than 72 hours since his horrific assassination attempt, I know what his tone is that he's going to bring. And and he's going to look to try to bring the country together with that speech. There's still some very serious issues that our country is facing. And President Trump will be addressing those, but the tone is going to be much different. And that's even when you look at Joe Biden, and he was talking about how terrible it was, this assassination attempt. Then he immediately started pivoting to things like J6 and Paul Pelosi. Let's put all of that aside. Let's go and focus on what we do to actually help people now.
Is the former president going to get out there and campaign at rallies in public after what happened Saturday? He's committed to that?
Well, we're certainly going to have as many big rallies and get-togethers and things possible. As far as the security details and logistics, I imagine that'll be a decision between the Secret Service and from the campaign, so I can't speak to all that right away.
He still wants to do it,
he still wants to be out there, absolutely.
Jason Miller, thank you very much. Appreciate your insights this morning.